hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, so what do I have for you this weekend? Well, this is kind of interesting. So let me tell you what's right behind me here. So what I'm standing next to is the Aerojet Ordnance Test Range out at Garfield Flats. Okay, and the sign says, "Danger! This range is used to test explosive items. Keep out." So yeah, Garfield Flats is right behind me, and the whole thing has this fenced perimeter because chances are some of that ordnance could have been dropped by planes and is buried underground out there somewhere. It could potentially be live still, okay? And that's why they don't want people driving around out here, so they fenced it all off. Here's the deal though. The mill site that I want to get to today is on the other side of this thing, way over there on those hills you see in the background. So we've got to drive all the way around the perimeter of this in order to get to those hills to get to that mill site. Now, speaking of mill site, let me tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so if you go back to episode 180, remember we walked into that mine, the mine that just went on forever. I called it the colonoscopy mine. Well, I did a little bit more research because the place really had me scratching my head. It's like, golly, they put so much work into that, putting in that gigantic haulage at it and all those drifts. But where's all the ore chutes? Where's all the ore passes? So I did a little bit more reading, and I learned that they were taking the ore not only from that mine, but from that one on the other side of the hill that we explored prior to that with the drones. Remember the one with the 2 shafts? Okay, well, all of that ore was coming from that site, and they were taking it by truck 8 miles as the crow flies, closer to maybe like 9 miles by road from there all the way over to here. Now, why would they do that? Especially back in the 1920s. Think about this. It's 1920, 1925. All you have is a Model T pickup truck, things of that nature, to be able to haul that ore from point A to point B. And let me tell you, with that type of equipment, 8 miles is a long ways to go, but they did it. So they were taking it all the way out there and processing it at that site. And the reason they were doing that is because Garfield Spring is right next to it. It's the only spring in this whole area that had enough water to be able to operate a mill, okay? So what I want to do today is first we're going to head on over to the mill. We're going to get the drone up in the air so you guys can get a better look at it. I also want to get a look at the spring too. I want to see how much water is coming out of there. And then after we get done with the mill, we're going to turn right back around, head straight back to the mine that we did in episode 180, okay? And we're going to go to the next level, higher on the hill, and go inside, because I got to see, there's got to be workings up there. It's the only thing I can figure is the workings were higher up, and some of those ore passes that we walked by is where they were dropping the ore down into that the lowest haulage at it, and then out the mountain. All right, guys, this is going to be a fun day. Yeah, it's just a beautiful bluebird day. A whole lot of haze in the sky from the fires up there in Canada. But other than that, it's going to be an awesome day. Okay, guys, let's get started. Alright guys, well, let's get a close look at this thing. So as I was saying, you know, in the area, this is the largest spring. Now there's others, and that's where the wild horses have been going to take a drink. But definitely want to get a closer look at this. See, as I look at this right now, that looks a lot like an 1800s mill, doesn't it? With all the stacked stone. You know, like the ones we saw over there by Thunder Ridge. Stacked rock like that. You know, 1860s to 1900, right in that area. Now, right over here, there is some poured concrete, but they were able to mix up concrete back then. So, I don't know. As I look at this, I'm really having a hard time believing that this was the mill site for the mines that we've been exploring. Let's keep looking around. This thing is old. It looks like 1860s to me. That thing over there in the bottom between the mill site and Garfield Flats out there, I think it's a pumping station. I think it's pumping water. I think there's a well over there, and there's solar panels, and that's what's drawing the water, or providing power for the pump and drawing the water out of the well. Gosh, you know, this is looking incredibly old. There's something very wrong here. I just cannot believe that this is going to be used for our 1905 to 1925 mine. All right, let's get a little closer. Look at how those guys stacked up all them big rocks, and all those rocks had to come off of that hill high above out there. Now over here we've got some, look at this pile of gravel. That's kind of peculiar. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. You see this wall right in front of us? Well, right here is where the stamp mills would have been. And this is some of the material, the crushed material that came off the stamp mill. Yeah. Okay. So I'm picturing probably 4, maybe 5 batteries were sitting there. Okay, let's go this way one more time. We'll get our approach again. Now, let's look at it from this angle. Wonder what they had sitting up on top of that. Maybe those rods were just used to hold the wall. I don't think that was used for... Let me see if that's like just a metal rod or a rebar. Let's get real close to it. That's definitely... Does that... Yeah, it has threaded in, so something was sitting on top of that, now wasn't it? And then it was probably leveled off with some kind of concrete float material. Okay. Well, let's look down here. We got some tin. Now that's a clue. Look at the tin. The tin is galvanized. It's not the older stuff. Boy, oh boy, you know, they didn't have galvanized tin in the late 1800s. No, they did not. So yeah, this one really has me guessing, guys. It really, really does. And you can see how they made this this concrete out of crushed material just from the area. All right, let's before we run out of battery here, I want to go look at the spring. We got to get a bunch of altitude. Now there's the main road coming in. I can see stacked rock next to the road. Now that makes sense. See, there's stacked rock on the road. So this was during a time when they're bringing trucks up here. Well, obviously they didn't have Model T trucks in the 1860s, 1870s. So the road is a clue that it was made during a time when vehicles were being used to haul ore to the mill. So indeed, I don't know, I guess I'm starting to lean more towards the side that indeed this is the mill for the mines we've been exploring. Okay. All right, that's a good view right there. Look at all the nice green grass and the bushes, and it's no wonder they put the mill here. Look at how beautifully green it is down there. Yep, and at one time, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the spring center screen, okay? Now, if you notice, there is a line tracking across the side of that hill right there. You see that? Well, that's where the pipe would have ran. See? Look at that. The pipe would have ran along that grade, and you can clearly see how it heads right straight over to the mill site below. Look at that. Now here's the crest. Okay, now we're going to stop the drone right here. Okay, you can still see the line where the pipe used to run. This is the high point. So once they get that water running and gravity is doing the work, then the water's flowing downhill and it acts just like a siphon. Just like as if you're going to suck gasoline out of the tank in your car. Now, one last thing I want to look at here. Let me see if I can find it. I think, did I fly over the top of it? Let me look around here. Maybe it's right below me. There it is. Look at this, guys. Okay. Let's lower in altitude here. Okay, stop for a second. Look at this old tree. I wonder if this tree was still growing here when that mill was up and running. And the reason I'm pointing this out to you guys, let's take a look at the trunk. Oh yeah, that's an oldie. It's dead. Now, many of you have asked me over the years, have you ever done any metal detecting? Yes, I have. And these are the kinds of things that I would look for. These are the clues. Now look off there in the distance. You got the mill site, right? Now, how many of those miners might have, walked up the hill to go eat lunch, okay? Come up here, sit by this shade tree. This is an absolute perfect place to run your metal detector, right here. Oh yeah. Boy, if I had a metal detector. Yeah, look at that. Perfect spot to maybe find maybe an old pocket watch or a bracelet or an old pocket knife. All right, guys. Well, that was a pretty good overview of the mill site here. Yep, because they built a road to it and it has stacked rock. Well, that's when they had were during the time of the Industrial Revolution. So indeed, this is probably the site where they were processing all of that ore. Okay, so I'm going to get the drone landed, and we're going to start heading back to the mine, and we're going to go into that second level. All right, guys, I'll see you over there. All right, guys, well, here we are back at the second level of this hill. So while I put my safety flag out, I'm going to tell you what I found back there at that mill site. So as I was driving away, it occurred to me I should probably take a closer look at the tailings And I did. I wanted to see how big they were, because oftentimes the size of the tailings are going to indicate just how much ore was ran through that mill. So when I went over there, I took a look at it, and indeed the tailings, even though they're scattered all the way through the sagebrush and thinned out after all these years of rainstorms and snowmelt, the tailings were huge. And guess what I found hiding in the tailings? I found 2 of those mercury barrels, you know, the ones with the 2 big iron bands. They look like a 55-gallon drum, but they've got those 2 big iron bands in the middle because they were so darn heavy. In order to get them, move them around, they rolled them on their sides, and those bands were for rolling the barrel on, as well as to maintain structural integrity. So those came out, you can date those at roughly 1905 through 1915 and up until just before the 1930s. That's when those were being used. So the fact that those were over there tells me that indeed they were processing the ore from this location. Now, I know a lot of you probably said, yeah, but Gly, they put stacked rock next to roads when they were running horse-drawn wagons. Yeah, you're right. That's true. So here's what I think. I think that mill probably goes back to the late 1800s, okay, to service other mines in the area, and then fast forward, it was repurposed once again to process ore for these mines here in the from 1905 to 1925 in that area. That's why we were seeing the corrugated tin, the mercury barrels, things like that. So so in closing, for me, the clues kind of bend the needle more towards, yes, indeed, they were using that mill to process ore from this site. Okay, one more thing, can't forget. It's important to always be spotted from the air, even though I already have given the coordinates to this location to my Overwatch. But it's just one more level of being able to find me. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Boy, isn't that isn't that an ominous looking portal right there? Yeah, it looks kind of ominous. Let me get my camera set up here. Come on, Mr. Camera, work with me. Boy, I've just been having all kinds of problems with that thing. And I'm reluctant to buy another one because I'm waiting for them to come out with the newer version, you know. So buying the older version would be a big waste of money. So I'm just making do. All right, guys, let's explore this old mine. Here we go. Level 2. Well, here we go again. We gotta get past all of this alluvium. Oh, good grief. There's a bird's nest. Look at that. There's a bird's nest right there. Okay, let's just take it nice and slow here and get past the crumble. This is the most dangerous part. See, so I'm telling you, look right here. Look at this collapse. The whole back came down. Okay, let's get past this. Now, oftentimes it'll do that. Just see, look at here. See? It'll do that when it starts to get a whole bunch of groundwater coming in. You know, like from a real wet spring or a really hard rain. And it seeps through, loosens things up, and then they come crashing down. Just like what we got right here. Oh, goodness. All right, looking down on the ground. No footprints. None at all. Nobody's been in this mine since these collapses have occurred. Oh, it just keeps getting... Look here, see? See how that's pulling away? Oh, yikes. I don't know, guys. This ain't looking too good. Ain't looking too good at all. Another collapse. Well, this is coming down from the workings above, right here. Okay. Well, I'll get past that. Here we go. Oh, pack rat. Pack rat. Oh, that one isn't as friendly. Oh, you're kidding. That's it? This one collapsed. Level 2 is Kaputski. We ain't getting into this mine, guys. Nope. Look at that. Pack rat mate making his home though. Well, darn it. I thought we could go a heck of a lot further. Let's look up there. Nope. Nothing there. And then of course, above our heads are all of these old growth timber. Still has the bark on it. Or there ain't no trees like that around here. I'm telling you, they got them from a long ways away. Okay. Let's get out of here then. Let's get out of here. Okay, almost out. Almost out. Oh, well, that was kind of a bummer, huh? Especially since we know that that main haulage at it down below us there is 2,500 feet long. Whew. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Just gonna catch my breath. Okay, guys, looking down below there's old Bob sitting on top of the waste rock pile. Off to the left, even lower on the hill, that's the waste rock pile from the haulage adit that we explored in episode 180. Okay, and so then what I did is I hiked up the hill here, and you notice there's another pile right here that used to have a trestle on it, cross ties and rail, and they were dumping out the waste rock left and right there. And as I turn around here, unfortunately, yeah, darn it, this one is collapsed too. Shoot. Well, guys, you know, I kind of was gambling on this episode. I thought to myself yesterday, should I go back out there? It's like, yeah, you know, there's a mill site out there I want to get a closer look at. And then I just said, oh, okay, well, we'll do it. But sometimes that's just how these things play out, guys. And unfortunately, there's no other mines in the area. Well, wait a second. You know what? There just might be one more. And it might be all the way around the side of this hill. Can you guys remember a while back I told you I found that beer can and it was called, what was it called? Something like Slobbering Beaver, Angry Beaver, and the can read Miso Honey. Remember that? Well, that's around the hill over here. Now there is a big waste rock pile over there further up that I haven't went and taken a look at yet. So why don't we do that? Let's try to salvage this episode. I'll drive all the way around the side of the hill, head over there, and see if that's something that we can get into. Okay? All right, I'll see you over there. Okay, guys, here we are. Yeah, and it's a darn good thing I decided to drive around the side of the hill. Now, I was kind of worried about this cut road right here. You know, I've had problems with cut roads in the past. They've gotten me in some really big trouble where I've had to use my winch. So I'm always really leery of cut roads. But no, it turned out to be not that bad. But we've got a big waste rock pile here behind old Bob. And behind the camera, there's a fire pit. So there has been people out here maybe going inside and taking samples. I don't know. There's an old pair of someone's pants over there. No, they're not Levi's. Just an old pair of Carhartts. And then over here is the portal. Now the cool thing is, guys, we don't just have one. We have two. And both of these waste rock piles are identical in size. They're absolutely huge. So what is the possibility that maybe one of these, because they are going in this way, and the mine we just came from that was collapsed is just right there. Well, what's the possibility that they go in and make a left, and we can maybe get in behind the collapse that we just came from? How cool would that be? All right, well, let's find out. All right, guys, let's do this. Boy, for a second there, I thought this episode was kind of winding down into a wah, wah, wah. But no, look at here. Oh, I just love it when I find a fresh one. Yeah, is there, oh, here's a, oh, that was a bird. That kind of spooked me. It's just a birdie. All right, let's go slow here, because we got to look for those noisy, crooked sticks. There, let's get past the... Oh, yeah. Oh, those are pack rat tail marks right there. That's what those are. All right, where's our bird's nest? Oh, he was up there. Okay, we'll get a better look at it as soon as I get past this part. Oh no, those are snakes. Those are snakes. Absolutely. All right, stop here a second. Turn around. Turning around. Oh, look at that. There's our bird's nest. Right there. Yeah. Okay. Turn it back around again. Look at all the snake tracks. Look at that. Can you see those guys? And you want to know why? Well, because we got a pack rat nest right up here, and they're looking for a tasty little treat. Now, they're not always rattlesnakes. Oftentimes they're bull snakes too. But because I'm seeing so many, I'm traveling very slowly right now until we get past, yeah, look at the pack rat nest here. Until we get past the first 50 feet or more of this mine. Okay guys, I'll be right back. I forgot to turn on my rear facing light. I'll be right back. All right, there we go, much better. Yep, gotta have that light on. Okay, let's turn the camera around and peek way on up in there. Oh boy, we're going a long ways, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, once again, just like in episode 180, we got slat rail, or strap rail on the floor. Down here we've got groundwater coming in, look at that. But we're not in any kind of fault gouge or alluvium right now. I like that. Good old hard rock. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Now I can see some diggings higher up on the side of the hill with smaller waste rock piles. So it wouldn't surprise me if we run into an ore chute or an ore pass here pretty quick. Yeah. So, how deep is this one gonna go in the hill? One never knows. Interesting. What do we have here? It's either going to be a collapsed door chute. What is it going to be? Let's look. Oh, so they were in here chipping away, starting to raise, probably prospectors. But why? I'm not really seeing any. I'm not seeing any galena. I mean, I know this is a silver mine, but why? I don't know. I guess you'd have to sample it to find out. Look at the hanging wall off to the left here. Nice and smooth. And the strap rail just keeps on going. Yep. Okay. Well, we're just working our way through nice and fast. I'm scanning all around looking for graffiti, if any. And there's a drift going off to the right. And we're going to stay on the primary here. Here's an old bottle with a little piece of rope wrapped around it, around the neck. That's an oldie. And a repurposed kerosene tin. Okay, what do we got here? Another, is this a collapse or? No, another place they were taking samples. See, that's why that fire ring. I'll zoom in on it, guys. See that sparkly stuff? Well, that's just calcite. Trust me, I know what galena looks like, as well as lead, and I'm not seeing anything like that. They were definitely chipping right here. Remember those awesome pieces of specimen grade galena that I put on my eBay site? Well, believe it or not, guys, I've got more of that. I do. I got about maybe 20 more pieces. So when I get to my next Nevada location, I will be posting more of those up on eBay. This is neat. Look at how they made a bend. See, they had to wet the wood and bend it around the corner and then put the strap on top. Now look at the cross ties here. Look how wore out they are, especially this one. Yep, that's from pushing ore carts in and out of the mine. And right above my head is a beautiful raise and a whole lot of mineralization. Okay, we have a drift going off to the right, but it appears as though the primary continues on straight. Let's stay here. Let's stay on this one. Well, it is curving more towards the direction that we would want it to. So what we need now is a drift that's going to go hard left. All right, turning around. Aha. Well, we all know who that is now, don't we? Yeah, okay, ore chute. Anything behind the ore chute? Oh, look at this. Look at here. We have a ladder right down there. That's cool. Let's get a better look at it. There's some more graffiti. All right, and some more graffiti. And below me here, look at here. Let me turn my light on there. Let's look down. Oh, we got a lot of neat stuff going down there. Oh, another awesome place to explore maybe for a future episode. Well, isn't that cool? Somebody made this this chain ladder. I haven't seen a chain ladder in many, many years. Okay, let's look over here. What's this, a shaft? Let's look up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at here, see? Yeah, coming in from workings higher above and going up and out. And look, I think we have, maybe on the other side of that wood there is backfill. And then it's going right straight down into there and comes to a stop. Neat, we have a level above us. How cool is that, huh? Yeah, we got a level above us, or a stope, at least. Okay, let me turn around here. Okay, I'm gonna set the camera down for a second. Make sure it's pointed in the right direction. Give me a second. Right there, that looks good. I'll turn my lights down here. There. All right, guys. I knew I would run into this eventually. So here's my opportunity to set the record straight, okay? Many moons ago, I ran into this kind of garbage in abandoned mines. So me and Dan, we exchanged a few emails. I'm not going to get into too much of the specifics, but him and his crew were not the people going around doing this, okay? At that time, a few years ago, Dan and his crew got into a little bit of a tiff, let's just call it, with another very surly individual. Let's just call it that, okay? And this individual was a denim hunter. And a lot of bad things came out of that whole experience, but I'm not going to get into it. So this goofball started running around in a whole lot of abandoned mines and started doing this kind of stuff, trying to make those guys look like they were the ones doing the graffiti. They were the ones doing what's the word I'm looking for? Vandalism, etc., etc. When in fact, no, that wasn't the case. It was this goofball denim hunter that was out there doing all of this stuff, trying to get these guys and paint them in a bad light, okay? Now, somewhere out there, there's even mines with spray paint that say, you know, Gly Coolness is a so on and so forth, and Gly Coolness is a this, that, and the third thing. Even that exists. I haven't been to those mines. I haven't found them yet, but it's out there. So yeah, it all boils down to that. This goofball was running around doing all these things. Just a total coward. But Dan and his crew, they're not responsible, guys. Okay? So if we ever encounter this again, or if any of you guys ever encounter any of this stuff, okay, it's not them doing it, all right? It's that goofball that's out there in the world. All right. Okay, so we've got, that's neat. This is something that we could come back and potentially explore at a later date. Okay. All right, so mine continues on. We've got one that goes left, but just goes right up there and stops. And what do we have here? Oh yeah, it keeps going. Keeps going. And you can clearly see where they're following the vein right there. Look at that. All right, let's step right here and look up. Yeah, see the support stalls? They were standing up there on those board like scaffolding and working that short little raise or that little stope. All right. Okay. Oh, I can smell treated timber. That's what I'm smelling. Oh boy. Look here, guys. Another place to go. Another Winds with a really ugly looking ladder. Yeah. Yeah, so if the Winds is going down right there and they're looking for that they're looking for the ore going deeper and deeper to get better and better, then that means this is what they're going after right here. And look at that on the side over there. You can clearly see all the pickaxe marks. You sure can. All right, turn it around. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of treated timber. There's some old graffiti from '87. Hey Dan, if you're watching this video, let me know what episode it was where you guys went down that chain ladder, okay? Either drop into the comment section or shoot me an email. If you guys already went down there, I'd really like to check it out, you know? All right. Coming to the end, guys. Yep. Yeah. And that is it. Kabam. Total collapse. Sure did. And that's the end of this one. You know, by the size of the waste rock pile outside, I would imagine that this would have went in quite a long ways. You know, if it coming to think, just I can't even talk right now. Now that I think about it, hey Dan, if I'm looking at this right here, it looks pretty darn fresh. So maybe you guys were in here even before this collapsed. So yeah, shoot me an email or drop a comment in the comment section, please. Okay, turning around. Okay guys, I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna meet you straight back over there to that little drift that we bypassed. So let's speed things up and I will see you over there. And stop. All right, turning around here. This is the one that we didn't go up into. More than likely exploratory drift. Ooh, crumbly, real crumbly, real soft in here too. Real soft. Oh yeah, I can see why they got into here. Look at all the mineralization. We got cross cuts going that way and stopping. Probably another one right up here. Yep. Yep. Oh, what is that? Yeah, look. Ah, we found some. There's our silver. See that? Right there. Cool. And the miners, looks like the miners picked it out, is what they did. Yeah, they got in there with a little chisel, either that or prospectors, and cleaned it all out. Neat. I don't think that's, well, okay. What we're looking at here, the sparkly stuff is the scale. Yeah, and what used to be in the crack is more like quartzite. Yeah, but along the where the quartz meets the surrounding rock, there is a calcite, and that's why this whole thing, everything I'm looking at in here, is just sparkling like crazy. All right, let's look up here. This is a really poor section of the mine. It's coming down all over. Oof. Yeah, it is. Well, How far is it gonna go, huh? Oh boy. Keeps on going. Cool. I like the mineralization. And that's it. That's as far as it goes. But here's an example. Let me show you what those guys were chipping out. See? Right here. There's the vein. That's what they're taking right there. See the sparkles on that side and that side of the vein, the calcite along the margins? Right there. Right there and there. There's the margins, calcite sparkles, and this is the vein they're removing. This is your ore. And look, it runs, gets even wider over here. See, that's why they're following this. Look. So they tunneled out this giant drift to go after that 2 to 3 inch wide vein. Sure did. Boy, they sure removed a whole lot of rock just to, look, it's up here. You can see they're following it. But look at the amount of rock oh boy. Close your mouth, Gly, and start looking up. Look at this. Ooh-wee. Ain't that pretty? Wow. Look at that. There's your ore. You betcha. Wow. Cool. Look at it. Isn't that pretty? What a beautiful vein structure. Yeah, we can see it so much better now that we're going back the other direction. Look, I'm just going to kind of keep the camera tilted up. Look at that. What an awesome representation of a vein structure. As the miners just followed it right up this drift. Cool. Neat. All right, let's keep going. I'll keep the cameras on, just in case we see some more of that. I just want to get past that really awful area there. Boy, that's some crumbly stuff. Okay. Alrighty. Turning back. This is towards the portal. So again, let's speed things up. But if I see something, we'll slow things down. Here we go. And stop. Okay, turning. Oh, what's this one gonna, oh, no. Stops right there. But this one would have done the same thing as the other one. But you see, look at the mineralization. Totally different. And that's why they came to a stop. Said, nuh-uh, nope. This ain't the way to go, Fred. Grab another case of dynamite, buddy. We still got a ways to go. All right, guys. Again, let's speed things up. And here we are. All right, let's head back outside. There we go. Almost out. And there we are. Okay, guys, we got one more, but I don't know if we'll be able to fit it onto this episode. So I'm gonna take old Bob and head up the road here, go into the next one. So that's either going to end up on in a shorts, or it'll end up as an episode, okay? All right, let me set the camera down here. There we go. Whew. Okay, guys, that was fun. Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't go a little bit further in because we ran into that collapse. It's also too bad that the drifts didn't turn hard left and head out to the one that we got into earlier that was collapsed also. But that's not to say that this next one over here isn't going to do that. So as I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head over there, and you guys will get to see that one in a shorts or a full episode. Guys, thank you so much for coming along with me today on another fun Saturday episode. And I'll see y'all again next Saturday. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.